Lord of the Flies is a novel by William Golding about a group of British boys who get stuck on a deserted island and try to govern themselves to really terrible results. It's considered an allegorical novel and touches upon the controversial subject on the basis of human nature.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing the Lord of the Flies look, which looks like this. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos just because, well, vacation happened, spring break happened, Cancun happened, many things happened, and then midterms happened. So lots of things have been happening, so I haven't had the time to sit down and properly film like a tutorial, so I'm glad to be back. If you want to see how to recreate this look and learn a little bit about the book, keep on watching. Right, so the foundation bit recorded really out of focus, but I was just using the L'Oreal Lumi foundation cushion in W3, and it represents the concept of primitivity.
In the novel, a group of boys get stranded on an island and things quickly deteriorate as they separate and attempt to make do with what they have. Eventually, though, the boys regress into something akin to a primitive tribe and commit acts that no civilized body would ever agree to, the savage killing of a boar and even the murder of one of their own. So, to symbolize the primitivity hidden beneath the surface in all of us, apply a nice layer of foundation to your face and conceal your blemishes.
And now we're gonna go in with the brows, and this time the brows are going to represent civilization because I feel like the brows kind of, well, the brows make you look more civilized, I think.
Now, in the beginning, they do try to keep things as civil as possible. They even run an election to choose a leader, and while that works for a little while, eventually some of the more brutal boys get tired, so they split off and form their own group, which leads to a whole new set of issues. Needless to say, things do not stay civil for very long, so don't fill in your brows too heavily, just a hint for that last strand of humanity left before it all blows away in the wind.
And now for the eyes. We're first going to go into the inner corners with this light peachy shade NYX Jumbo Pencil in 16611 Yogurt to represent innocence.
We have to keep in mind that most of these boys are still quite young, not yet teenagers, and yet they're thrown into a situation that's so outlandish it's nearly impossible for them not to lose that kind of childish innocence they once had when they were protected by their parents and teachers. As the events of the novel progress, we see Jack, one of the older boys, become more and more savage, thereby inspiring those around him to quickly descend into savagery as well.
And then we're going to go in with this, I don't know if you guys can see, this dark olive green shade to represent fear.
And there's quite a lot of that going on because as the boys split off into two groups, those led by Jack and those led by Ralph, the boys begin to postulate about this monster in the woods that might attack them at any moment. And while it's only a figment of their imaginations for some time, eventually a dead man on a parachute blows onto the island and becomes material incarnation for their fears. So coat your eyes in a thick layer of fear, perhaps even thick enough to distort your vision of the truth.
And then we're going to take this slightly darker, more shimmery, goldish kind of dark forest green and bring it into the creases of our eyes to represent the concept of power.
Which is always the flip side of the coin for fear, right? Fear gives people the power to lord over others, and that's exactly how Jack buoys himself up into a position of power, by making sure that all the rest of the boys are scared of what might happen if they don't do as he says and follow him into the woods to hunt for pigs. Their fear is only increased when they see the extent of his power, when he influences a group of boys to actually commit murder.
Here I'm just bringing this NYX Golden Olive eyeliner along the bottom eyelash line to represent the concept of corruption, so it bleeds into the bottom of your eyes.
And that ties back into the concepts of fear and power because both of those breed corruption. In the story, it is because of the boys' rising fears and the power that fear has over them that leads all of them to their moral corruptions, which culminate in the graphic killing of a female pig and then the killing of one of their own.
And then we're going to go in with this Sephora Cherry Nectar Rouge Fusion Lip Cream, I think, to represent the concept of cruelty, because many times the cruelest things that come from us come from our mouths and the things we say.
And there's cruelty abound as the novel reaches its climax, with Jack and his followers making a ceremony out of the reenactment of their very gory murder of the female pig. And in their bloodlust-driven frenzy, they jab at Simon, one of Ralph's and Piggy's friends, with spears until he dies, and his body is washed out to sea. So, apply a thick, dark layer of cruelty over your lips until you can taste its poison.
And last but definitely not least, you can top the entire look off with a pair of specs to represent obviously Piggy's specs and everything that they symbolize in the book. Vision, sight, knowledge, morality, and when they finally snap, the breakage of all those things and the loss of all those things. So yeah, that's the final look. Hey guys, this is the third time I'm recording this. Hopefully it'll be in focus. Praying to the Lords. Anyways, thank you so much for making it to the end of my channel. Wow, to the end of this video. I can't talk today, I'm sorry. It's been a while, I'm a bit rusty, so excuse the little tiny mistakes everywhere. But I do have some exciting news. I have a camcorder in the mail that's coming on Monday, so hopefully the next video you guys see will be shot on a camera that is meant for video recording, and I can return this beautiful camera to Alyssa. Thank you so much for letting me borrow your camera. You've saved my life like time and time again, and this channel would not be alive without her. So thank you, Alyssa. What else? If you guys have any suggestions or, you know, things you would like to see on this channel, books you would like me to talk about, leave them in the comments below, or come find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, the links of which will all be below. Most of it's just Literate Couture, the same way that it's spelled on my username. So yeah, I mean, search that up and I think I'll come up. But yeah, come talk to me on those things if you want to get a bit chatty. If you like the content that you guys see here and want to stick around for a bit longer, feel free to hit subscribe, and I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me for so long. I'll see you guys next week.